Hey there, it's Elizabeth, and welcome back to flip number 72. So we left off on this day. It was the 10th of November, a Thursday. So here we are on Friday. Let's see, did we... I don't know if we went down south or not, but... yeah, my thoughtful big handsome, he's just so sweet. He had gone to the grocery store. I had accomplished absolutely nothing that day. Okay. So yeah, I don't even know where the day went, but, Big Handsome went to the store and he brought home some goodies for me, and he brought home some lovely flowers. And, he also brought me home these Anna's, Swedish Thins. They're ginger cookies and I absolutely love them. And so when I saw the cookies, I was like, oh, that's so sweet. Thank you so much. And I had told him, I said, oh, I wish I would have known that you were going to the store because I'm out of my Biscoff cookies, which I try to have those every night with a cup of tea. And so anyway, so he just kind of, slyly smiles at me. And I'm going through the bag. And of course, what was at the bottom? The Biscoff cookies. Yep, because that's what my husband does. He thinks about me. It's so special. So I think I found this online. The best feeling in the world is being loved back by the person you love. And it truly is. So that's the way that things should be. I had found that in a magazine clipping, and he is my everything. And yeah, so I'm just so thankful for a thoughtful husband. He very much thinks of others before himself, and he's just truly wonderful. And then this day here, this was kind of a juxtaposition. So we were watching The Walking Dead, and it was a total lazy day. It was a Saturday, so yeah, we did not go down to the Keys. We have had way too many of these lately, like total lazy days, bed days, couch days, you name it. But again, we're together, so that's all that matters. And while we were sitting there watching The Walking Dead, I was cutting up a bunch of roses from a book that I had. And yeah, so I just thought that was funny. Roses with The Walking Dead. And then I had a migraine that day, or it was starting. Yeah, not sure if it was a migraine or that my skull is being stabbed by a knife. So I was thankful for a cozy couch, a heating pad, and an understanding family that day. Then this day here, just important reminders. I was still in a flare. I still wasn't feeling very well. And yeah, so I had a bunch of these just in my stash. So I took out some inspirational things and put them in with this lovely candle. We actually did go out. Let me think. Yeah, we went to Longhorn for lunch that day with the family. Yep. And then my husband so graciously, he took me over to Michael's because it's right there. Excuse me. I'm sorry. And I wanted to pick up 22 by 30 inch watercolor paper because I had seen a handmade journal inspired by Tisha Moore, and I wanted to make some. So, yeah, so I wanted to pick up the paper so that I could make the collage journals. And I was just thankful for a lovely afternoon with my beautiful family. Then this day here, again on Monday, total bed day. Again, oh my gosh. But anyway, oh yeah, it was a very productive day. Now I remember. Another beautiful bed that I found in a magazine. I just sat in bed all day long and cleared my email. Holy cow. I had a lot to clear. But in all that email, or in my email folder, or whatever, mailbox, that's what it's called. Hello. I had over 200 love letters from my big handsome that I hadn't printed out yet. So it took me like 4 hours to transfer over 200 love notes from my email to a Word document so that I could print them all out. So I did that all day, but at least I did get that accomplished. And love is patient, love is kind. And I was thankful that day for my cozy bed and for my sunshine keeping me company. It was funny because he came in, he was playing on his computer, so he just came in to my room because I was in here, messing on my computer. So he came in and was messing on his computer. So that was funny. And then this day here, yeah, another rough day. Ugh. Oh, this was something else. This was going on. This was something that was going on having to do with parenting. Yes, I had said at some point, I can't remember now, that, being a parent is one of the blessings in life, wonderful blessings in life. However, the act of parenting can sometimes, stink. So, yeah, we were having a bit of a rough time. So I thought this old, like, vintage meme was so cute. It says the first 40 years of parenthood are always the hardest. And then I wrote, a verse that resonated with me that day about children. And this is quite often what happens, when you give advice to your children, or you get advice or whatever, it doesn't have to be with just children. It could, trust me, I do it myself, but, you mess up, you learn, and you repeat. You're probably going to mess up again. Try to learn from it. Try not to repeat it. And then, yeah, we just had, like, conversations that night, but things were getting to a boiling point. So I had found this in my stash of magazine clippings: improve your communication skills, which is what we need to do before this happens, So, yeah. So I was thankful just, for having a human family that day. We say I love you a lot and I'm sorry when needed. So that was that day. And then this is just a menu from a restaurant my daughter and I went to, a breakfast place that we went to. And we had a busy day. This day I had a dermatology appointment. So my daughter, luckily was able to go with me. It was, oh my gosh, 8:15 in the morning, the crack of freaking dawn. And yeah, nothing like getting half naked in front of a perfect stranger to start off your day. So that's what I was doing that morning. You are my hiding place, another verse. And then we had breakfast together, my daughter and I. We just had such a busy morning. We had a lot of running around to do. So first I had to go get naked for the doctor. Well, almost naked. That's probably TMI, but anyway. So yeah, had to go do that in the morning. And then I had to take, oh my gosh, I had to drive a ham. Yes, you heard me, a ham, out to my husband's work, which is an hour round trip, because he forgot it, or I think he forgot to cook it the night before or something. They were having some kind of potluck dinner at work, and so he didn't set it on in time. So yeah, so I had to go to my dermatology appointment in the morning with the ham in my back seat, then drive all the way out to work, drop off the ham, then drive all the way back into town because I had a hair appointment. And then after all of that, my daughter and I went to breakfast. And then later on in that afternoon, I had fresh puppies. Yeah, because my mobile groomer came to take care of my pups, which is so nice. So that day, yes, we had done so much running around, and I was so thankful for having a mobile groomer. We've had a mobile groomer for years because it's very hard for me to transport my dogs. I can hardly transport myself half the time. So yeah, she's been coming to our house for years, and so I was glad that they were finally getting a bath and groomed and all pretty like. And then let's see here. So another catch-up day, my little corny pun. So yeah, I was catching up on about 5 pages. Yeah, it doesn't really bother me that I have to catch up because, in all honesty, it gives me something to do. So, I mean, my family would probably rather I sweep and, vacuum and mop and clean, but I'd much rather work on this. I filmed a ramble session that day, and yeah, this says, thank you for letting your dog bark outside all morning, said no one ever, right? Okay, I'm that annoying neighbor. My dogs, oh my gosh, I love them to bits, They're schnauzers. We have two miniature schnauzers, and they're probably like 9 years old now, I think. But they are so flipping yappy, So and they're like worse than children, So I'll leave them on the patio outside to like dry off, because they get wet in the morning when they go out. And if I go inside the house, they want to come inside the house, but they can't because they're wet. So they sit out on the patio and howl and bark incessantly. And then they howl some more. And then when they think they're done howling, they continue to howl. Oh my gosh, my neighbors must hate me. Anyway, that was a very long story about that. So yeah, that day I was thankful for having a dedicated art room because I love spending time in there. And I spent a lot of time in there because I was catching up. And then egads, my Posca markers are running out, which interestingly enough, I started doing this type of journaling, the Fobonichi, almost 2 years ago. In fact, this coming January will be 2 years in my books, and I am loving it. I have had my Posca markers, and I use the 3M ones, just in case you're wondering. Like this outline here is 3M. This lettering is 3M. This lettering is 3M. I really like that size of Posca marker. Anyhow, I bet I've had the Poscas for a year and a half. I think my very first and only set I've ever had, I got for Mother's Day last year. Yeah. So now they're finally running out. So worth the expense. I love Posca markers. And then interestingly enough, in world news, there was a 14-year-old UK cancer victim, poor thing, but she won a court case to actually be cryogenically preserved. So, I just thought that was interesting. And then, I was thankful for being able to head down south. So we were leaving, this day was a Friday, we were leaving for a week-long staycation at the other house, so we were looking forward to that. I can't remember if the kids went or not. I don't know, let's find out, shall we? So Saturday, we went to a flea market. I drew this thing here. I'd found it, I don't even know, probably on Google Images, and drew it out. I just thought it was really cute. So we went out to a little flea market that we go to sometimes. Usually I don't find very much, but that day I found these beautiful books. Again, this is just a photocopy and it's downsized to fit in my book. They're probably about 4x6 or 5x7. I'm not really sure. Maybe they're 5x7. Beautiful vintage books on Italy, and they're postcard books. Unfortunately, there was no year in them, so I don't know how old they are. I would guess they might have been from the 50s, but they're beautiful books. So yeah. Oh, oops, rewind. Let me see. I got all turned around on these days when I went back to go and fill them in. So those were my vintage books. It was very cold this weekend. Well, cold to my standards. I mean, I'm used to humidity and 90 degrees. So when it gets to like 60 degrees, it might as well be snowing. So, let's see here. Oh, I was catching up on these pages. These were November 19th. I was catching up and doing these pages on November 24th. While I was watching the Macy's Day Parade, so I realized that I was a day off. Oh yeah, because, okay, now I get it. Now it's returning to me. It's all coming back to me. We had not actually left to go down on Friday. We had planned on going down on Friday, and then the traffic was horrible. My husband got off a little bit later than he wanted to, so we just ended up staying home Friday, and so I was kind of like a day off. You know how that happens. If you normally do something on a certain day and then it switches, you get all turned around. So, yep, I was all turned around. Anyhow, I was just thankful for my many blessings and, my big handsome and my gems and spending quality and quantity time. And so that's what we were doing. I guess the kids didn't come down yet. You know what? This might have been the beginning of Thanksgiving week. Yeah. Yeah. So they still had school and whatnot and work. So they didn't come down until closer to Thanksgiving. And then, of course, on Monday, I had to do a library run. Every time I'm down south, I always do a library run. So I got a lot of books. I got some really nice magazines. I got this one magazine that has these gorgeous sea life pictures in them. And oh, they're just beautiful. I love them. And yeah, it's one of my favorite things to do, honestly, when we go down there is go to the library. Yep, so I was thankful that day for free books and magazines. Of course, I always leave a donation to help support our local library. And this day here, yeah, I was in a flare again. I don't even know if it was like a different flare or the same flare or the never ending flare. I'm not really sure. But yeah, it's getting pretty old. Spent most of the day in bed while Big Handsome worked downstairs. Yeah, he was hanging stuff up downstairs. And then he had purchased, I don't even know when he got it, but a really pretty, of course, nothing. It was an anchor. This is a simple drawing of an anchor to write about it, but it's this beautiful, big, thick wood anchor, and it was really pretty. So he hung that on our front door down there. And this is a verse that I was thinking about that day from John 16:33. And yeah, I was thankful for a cozy bed and lots of reading material that day. I think, you know what, I'm just going to stop there for now, and I will catch you next time, and I will thank you for spending your time with me, and I will catch you later. Thanks.